thank God you're such a strong person, because this season looks like it might have been particularly rough for you as it pertains to your marriage with Bill. What was it like having to dissect that and talk about the affair on camera?
You know what? It really was agonizing to me. It felt like every day it might as well have been a year. Time was going by so slow for me. And it's like, I just wanted it to be over. I wanted it to stop. I wanted to stop fighting. It was just very hard. And I don't know how I'm going to feel once I watch it back. Because of course now Bill and I, thank God, we're in a great space, and I feel like I'm in a good place with all the ladies. So, but once the show airs, sometimes those feelings of hurt and animosity, they kind of like find their way back in. So I'm just hoping that I could stay focused on what the outcome was rather than what I was going through at that time. It was not fun. It was not fun. I will tell you that.
No, I can't imagine. At one point in the season 12 trailer, Margaret says she doesn't know if her marriage is going to last. She doesn't even know if she wants to stay with Bill. I mean, how do you respond to that? Was that ever true at one point?
Well, I think like throughout the season, you're going to see me struggle with how I deal with a lot of my relationships, my relationship with Bill, my relationship with the girls, and with Margaret in particular. I struggle with finding a way to navigate all of the pain and embarrassment that I'm feeling while still have to put on a brave face, because, I felt like I was going through all of this while everybody was watching. And I don't mean just the cameras. I mean like my friends from the cast, the crew, my family, my children, everybody was looking at me. And it's like, I wanted to make sure I stayed strong for my children, because they'll be okay as long as they know that mommy's okay.
Right. Were you shocked when Margaret brought it up at the pool party? Because it was just so abrupt.
She had kept saying over and over again about the skeletons. And, when someone says that to you, you think, what skeletons do I have? And this is pretty much the one that I had. This was the only one that I have that I know about. So when she kept saying skeletons, you have skeletons, you have skeletons. And of course, going through what we went through last year with Jackie, right? Bringing a rumor to light without any kind of proof or receipts did not go well for Teresa. So when Margaret was dropping her hints, alluding to the fact of my skeletons, I was like, I don't think she would talk about something unless she had proof. And then when she did drop the bomb, and she had a lot more details than just like some, pretend thing that's going on somewhere. She had specific details. And I thought, I really did think that she was going to whip out something printed that was in her bag and prove me to be a liar. So when she kept hinting that, I was like, okay, if she says this, I'm going to have to be honest. Listen, signing up for this show, that's what I agreed to do, to show the good, the bad, the ugly. And it's not easy. It was 10 years ago. She knew that I knew. It's not like she knew that she knew I knew. I think, the only thing that this ended up doing was really hurting my family.
Yeah. And how did Margaret know? Had you confided to her in the past about it?
Never. I never told a soul. And when I tell you I never told a soul, it was about 10 days before I had my fourth baby. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my cousins. I didn't tell my sister. I didn't tell my best friend. I put on a brave face, even though my world was like crushed around me, because I was about to have a new baby. And there were people in my life that were excited about me. Remember, it's not just me. I have a very big extended family. I have uncles, cousins, family members, a Syrian Orthodox community that put my husband on a pedestal. Okay. And he is not, obviously he's very embarrassed. He supported me in the sense of letting me share our story, which I think is very brave of him. And I told him, if we were able to get through it when it happened 10 years ago, we'll be able to get through it now.
Where do you think she got her information from if you didn't confide in her?
I don't know. I feel like she's very good at like you saw in the trailer, you do not want Margaret to be your enemy. No, she is a digger, and she could find out things, and she's got a lot of Rolodex of people, and that's in her friend group, and I wouldn't put anything past her, She's very focused when she wants to find out something about somebody. When I tell you that I didn't tell anybody, and when I tell you that I threw it away in the vault, I put it in the vault and threw away the key. I pretended it never happened. And in all the arguments and fights and things that have happened to Bill and I over the years, I have never once brought it up as a dig, as like, because when you decide to forgive somebody, you really have to forgive it and never bring it up. Otherwise, your relationship is not going to work. And I'm grateful that I did that, because I had Olivia after. We were able to like move into our dream home together.
I mean, it's incredible to see how far you and Bill have come, knowing your history, knowing that you went through this 10 years ago, and to see where you are today. How did discussing the affair and rehashing it for this season, how did that impact your marriage?
I mean, you're going to see us really going through it. I mean, everything that you see is the journey, and he was uncomfortable at times. But he felt guilty that I was going through all of this. So in order to be supportive of me, he was able to share his side of the story. But there were times where he was highly uncomfortable. There were times where I was, and you're going to see it all unfold. And it's very interesting to see it unfold. And I'm actually excited about seeing it, because I don't remember living it, how it went down. That whole experience to me was like a huge blur. And I felt like once it was out, I wanted it to be over so bad that like I wasn't focused on anything else, but like trying to find a way to get there.
Right. Was it in any way cathartic for you guys as a couple?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The whole thing was like, there was at one point a part of me that thought like, you know what? I didn't want to be the one to bring it up and ever talk about it, because that would be at the expense of my children, and it wasn't worth it for me. But since she did bring it up, since I do have to talk about it, you know what? I'm going to use it as like therapy for myself and find it, like you said, cathartic and therapeutic and all of that. So yeah, it was.
How do you plan to discuss this with your kids now that it's going to be on the show and it's going to be all in the press?
I've already discussed it with my kids. During filming, we had a blogger leak, I don't know how, leak this awful storyline, and somebody had made a TikTok on it. And kids today are on TikToks, and my sweet little Olivia, who threw a beautiful anniversary party for us last year to show how her parents were still in love, saw a TikTok that said the big secret, and she actually commented on it. She commented, "This is my mommy and daddy, and this is not true." And she came to me to show me her comments, said, "Look, mommy, I'm defending you from all of these lies." And I asked her if she can just take it down. I said, it's for the show, and it's not good if we release things, so maybe we shouldn't draw attention. I had her take it down that way. And then I just waited a little bit of time before I took her into a corner, sat her down, and I kept my composure, because I've realized they will react to however mommy's acting. So if I could put on a brave face and show her like, listen, daddy did a bad thing, but it doesn't mean that he's a bad person. And when we love people, we forgive them when they make mistakes. And I've forgiven him, and I'm okay. And, she wasn't upset because I wasn't upset.
Did you speak to each child individually?
Individually, yes. Justin, my husband told Justin, I was in the room. And Justin kind of was like, almost irritated by it, and kind of was like, I don't ever want to talk about this ever again. He's not watching the season. My Gabriella, she was more crushed. She felt very betrayed and was angry for a bit, but we got through that. And my two boys, I don't think they're neither here or there. And Olivia, now that she sees that mommy's okay with it, she'll say like, "Oh, mommy, do they know about the secret too?" And I'll say, "Yeah, they know about the secret, but it's not a secret anymore. And we're okay with talking about it." And then she'll say, "Oh yeah, that's right." So remember, children will learn by example. So as long as I'm cool and not breaking down, I think they'll be okay.